Hello, this is Spiritual Muse here to talk to you about another full moon. We have a full moon at 0 degrees Gemini on November 23rd. It is centered in the Pleiades star cluster. At 0 degrees, that represents limitless potential because 0 is kind of before everything. It's just right before the start. So anything and everything is possible at that time. So Gemini itself represents duality, ego, the light of the soul and the dark of the soul. It represents a lot of changeable energies. It's also a little bit fickle. So you want to ask yourself things like, have I been a little bit gossipy over the past couple of weeks? Here's my cat Cecilia. Have I been paying attention to other people's feelings? Or have I been just like blowing past them? You have to remember to not only talk, but also to listen and to kind of read between the lines as well. Gemini is all about communication. So there is that listening aspect of communication on top of that speaking aspect of communication. And if you let the ego run, you're going to communicate more with what you want to say instead of listening. So we also have to think about, are we expanding our minds? Because Geminis are all about learning different things. Geminis want to be learning 10 things at once. They're constantly doing a million things, but you want to make sure that you're not spreading your energy too thin. So instead of focusing on 10 things, maybe focus on one thing and really learn a lot about it. So yeah, really think about taking time to learn. That'll be really good for you. The moon is in Pleiades, in the central star, which is Alcyone, Alcyone. This is linked to females, the divine feminine. It's also linked to homosexuality, and this can be a time that makes people cruel. So it might be a time when it's difficult for women and anyone that is not necessarily straight. So any LGBT stuff might be coming up right now. So just really be careful, protect yourself, and just watch out for yourself and for others too. Always have other people's backs as well. We also have Mars and Jupiter square to the moon. This represents strength, bravery. It can be kind of sexy, but it can also be pretty angry with Mars as the warrior planet. It can make people feel a little bit frustrated. It can bring about some confrontations. Don't be reckless. Be careful. Think about what you say before you say them, especially because we have this Gemini full moon, which is about communication. On top of that, we're also in a Mercury retrograde, which means that it's a really important time to be careful with our communication. And to kind of think before we speak. Find productive ways to release your anger. So get an artistic outlet, maybe do some macrame. That's just an example, but do something that's going to allow you to release that energy, that creative, sexual, angry sort of energy in a more productive way. Even if it's just screaming into a pillow, that's better than screaming at someone, right? We're also right around the holidays too, so that can kind of bring up a lot of stuff with family, all that kind of stuff. You may want to confront someone, but it's probably better to wait until after this full moon's effect. So the full moon's effect lasts for up to 4 days after the full moon. So you're going to want to, wait until probably at least Tuesday or Wednesday. And it is important, you don't want to hide your emotions, but maybe think them through and calculate how you want to express them in a more healthy way. And if you have to do that while this moon's effect is still in play, then just really think about what you're going to say and try to really listen to the other person too and their emotions rather than just your own, because there's always two sides to every story and everybody has their own perspective. So just kind of be open to that. We also have a lot of the shadow aspects arising. Because of this fixed star, and also, Gemini has the duality, the light and the dark. So the darkness of the star, the Alcyone, is going to help us evolve during Mercury retrograde. So really try to use that darkness and evolve with it, work with it, listen to it. Don't hate your inner darkness. Just kind of use that energy to work with you. Maybe you can do some new things, create some new beautiful pieces of art through that, or create a new project or something like that. So with Jupiter and the moon, we also have to be mindful of not being overly gluttonous, and just think about balance and moderation in all things. So pretty crazy full moon that we have here. It can go either way with this one. With the moon in 0 degrees of Gemini, you have limitless potential. You can find either side of the twins coming up. You can find that lightness or you can find that darkness. It's your choice, right? So just be mindful of that. Take some time to zen out a little before you see your family maybe. Take some deep breaths while you're there and try to just focus on that light, right? But also don't ignore the dark, right? You got to focus on that too, but in a healthy, productive way. All right? So thank you guys so much for listening. I really enjoy doing these videos for you. I have a lot of other videos coming up soon, so stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a safe holiday and a beautiful, wonderful full moon, right? So full moon, just before I go, is also about letting go in general. So maybe think about certain things that come up. Can you just let them go, right? It's possible that maybe it's not as big of a deal as it feels, because the full moon is going to make you feel a lot more emotional, a lot more obviously angry with this full moon. So you want to just kind of take time to feel things through. All right, guys, so thanks for watching. Much love, and I will talk to you soon.